So, for those who don't know, Cam Thomas is a restricted free agent and he is still unsigned. Why? Because nobody in the league has cap space but the team that he plays for, the Brooklyn Nets. And last night, or yesterday, he went off on Twitter defending himself, basically saying, I'm more than just a ball hog, than what people say. And I have a lot of thoughts on this because I am full on Cam Thomas's side here. I think when it comes to Cam Thomas, the people who don't care for his game either don't watch him play in regards to they just kind of look at the stats, they look at the wins and losses of the Brooklyn Nets, and they come to a conclusion small guard doesn't really affect winning. Shoots a lot, shoot first mentality, toxic player, toxic teammate. Couldn't be further from the truth, but that's the assumption. When you look at the stats and you look at the wins, you're thinking, what does he really impact, really? Here's my retort to that. 2 years ago, the Brooklyn Nets, in that year where they gave up their pick to Houston, ended up being, I believe, the third pick in the draft, where the Rockets took Reed Shepherd. That year, the Brooklyn Nets got off to a 14-12 start, largely due to Cam Thomas's production. It was mistaken for Mikal Bridges' production because nobody watched the team that year. And granted, I don't blame you. They weren't very good. But Cam Thomas is moved to the bench randomly. The team proceeds to fall off a cliff completely in the next month. Mikal Bridges started and closed a lot of those games. So when Mikal Bridges was eventually traded to the New York Knicks, a lot of people assumed that the Brooklyn Nets were going to be the worst team in the league last year, with a starting lineup of Dennis Schroeder, Cam Thomas, Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton, and fill in the blank, whoever at that point. Here's the thing. Nets got off to a really good start last year, and we're winning too much. And Cam Thomas was the reason for that. Now, Dennis Schroeder was a big part of it too, but it was mainly Cam Thomas. Now, Dennis Schroeder got a lot more of the credit. Dennis Schroeder's a good player. I like him. He was very good for the team early on in the year. But Cam Thomas was the guy who was driving the engine. And as soon as Thomas gets hurt, as soon as they started trading guys, the Nets knew that they were too good to tank. So here's what I don't understand. The team makes a conscious decision to go into a direction that is best for the franchise, which is to be bad. Cam Thomas then still has this narrative, he doesn't affect winning. Meanwhile, the team he's been on the last few years, the main goal hasn't really been winning. Minus that first year where they benched him for some reason, which, by the way, Jacques Vaughn got fired. And a big reason was because of that. Just completely misrepresented the team and just was horrible. Jordi Fernandez embraced Cam Thomas. So now we're in this restricted free agency. And Cam Thomas is in a position where he is not getting the contract that he believes he deserves because there are players that he believes he's better than getting more money. Here's the thing. It's unfortunate, and I think the Nets like him, but they're not going to bid against themselves, so that's the tough decision. But let's not mistake this. That is the reason Cam Thomas is still on the market, similar to guys like Josh Giddey, who had a really good season last year on the market. Nobody has cap space, and that's the reason. So I defend Cam Thomas completely for going out and defending himself because 4 years, in my opinion, of him being poorly analyzed by people as this shoot first guy whose empty stats doesn't affect winning. If you actually watch the dude play, the level of difficulty he makes his shots, and gets to the basket, he doesn't just jack up grenades. Now, is he a perfect player? No, not saying that at all. Not saying he's some superstar necessarily, but I've seen worse players than him make all-star teams. And I think we do this thing with NBA analysis now where we totally overthink some players. Where it's like, well, he doesn't play defense. Well, he's not a great defender because of his size, I should say. Well, he doesn't do this effectively, or he's not the most this, blah, blah, blah. He's not the most all-around guy. He just scores. It's like, how many small guards in this league just scored. Like guys who their best attribute was scoring. Like there's a million good players that have made all-star teams that kind of just score. It's always been that way. So I don't understand the highlight. I guess I don't understand it. It's like, to me, the reason why people don't like Cam Thomas's game, they're not respecting the fact of how he could score at a really elite ability. And you could point up to whatever Fugazi number it is. I mean, he is a pretty efficient scorer. So I don't understand the hate. The team is in a direction where they're losing because it's best for the franchise to do that. But Cam Thomas should not be penalized, and he should be back on this team. And I would be really upset at the Nets front office if he is not back on this team. So Cam Thomas, you got a fan in me. I don't agree with these people that I think are just completely underthinking it or overthinking it, whatever you think. I mean, to me, the people who judge his game so harshly either don't watch him or they haven't played competitive basketball past the 8th grade. That's what it's like to me. They just look at several different things. Oh, it's all his length, size, defensive ability. Cam Thomas is a good teammate as well, which is often judged by his shoot first mentality. Some people think he's just not a good teammate, and he is. So I don't get that either. So Cam Thomas, you got a friend in me. I believe in you. I know Knicks fans that there's nobody who hates the Brooklyn Nets more than Knicks fans. And I have seen them defend Cam Thomas and be like, listen, he's really good. So watch more of Cam Thomas. He's not just a shot chucker, okay? Like, he has got a unique ability to score the basketball, and it should be respected. And Cam Thomas, you're getting your respect from me.